Hey Hoopheads, Brad here with another breakdown, and today I want to talk about the Bucks defense in their 112-101 win over the Sixers. The Bucks are number one in defensive rating with 101.7, which is 3 points better than the second place defense. And the key to the Bucks defense is the way they pack the paint and protect the rim. They're the best rim protecting team in the league. In this game, they let the Sixers shoot 42% from downtown. They drained 19 threes, but they held them to just 18 for 54 from two-point range, which is 33%, an abysmal rate. Let's get into it. This is the Sixers' very first play of the game, and it illustrates something important about the Bucks defense. As Simmons sets the screen, Giannis doesn't come up to pressure, he doesn't come to trap, they don't switch it, he just drops back. The Bucks play drop coverage all the time. They're happy for teams to take mid-rangers. On this play, as Embiid catches it out at the three-point line, check out how Brook Lopez never really comes above the free throw line. The Bucks keep the Lopez's in the paint at pretty much all times. Embiid takes it into the post, and as he feels Brook Lopez's hand on his arm, he tries to go up and draw the foul. Brook pulls his arm away. That's going to be a miss, and the Bucks absolutely stymied Embiid in this one. On this play, Harris is going to cut up to the right wing and get the ball, and as he does, check out Wes Matthews on Al Horford. Wes Matthews moves around and starts fronting Horford. Sixers struggling to get that pass to him. Embiid cuts up to the free throw line, but check out how Brook Lopez stays a step back with a hand up towards Horford to try to make that pass unappealing. He goads Embiid into taking the 15-foot jumper, and Embiid took a lot of jumpers this game, not much action at the rim. Here, as Middleton misses the shot, check out how all five Bucks get back to set up their defense. Harris sees a lane and tries to attack, but Brook Lopez is already on the back line. Nice block from him. His length is a huge asset. Here's a nice example of the Bucks drop coverage. As Embiid sets the screen, check out how low down Brook Lopez is. And even as Harris gets closer, Lopez keeps dropping back. He just wants to keep him out of the paint. If he shoots a mid-ranger, so be it. And on this fast break, as Simmons attacks, Middleton's in prime position, but Donte DiVincenzo is also there with the help, so as Simmons goes up, he's facing two defenders, he has to kick it out. Lopez is hustling back, he deflects it out of bounds, the fast break is dead, and that's great hustle from the Bucks, especially DiVincenzo, to shut that down. And this is an example of what I mean by the Bucks packing the paint. As Harris gets the ball in the post against Donte DiVincenzo, Horford's going to cut through, and both Middleton and Lopez drop down to prevent that pass. Check out how packed the paint is here. That leaves Embiid wide open at the top. That's something the Bucks are fine with. Embiid puts it up and bricks it, and the Bucks have their stop. Here the Sixers go to Embiid in the low post, and something you'll notice when Embiid's in the low post against the Bucks, every shot he takes almost is moving away from the basket. The Lopez's are really good at using their strength to prevent Embiid from getting shots going toward the basket. And as you struggle in the post, jump shots start to look better and better and better. Here as Embiid gets it, you can see Lopez sagging way off, daring Embiid to shoot it. He walks it into the free throw line, takes that jumper instead. Still no good. Here the Sixers are going to work it to Embiid in the post, and check out how Lopez fights for position with Embiid, makes him catch it way out on the elbow instead of on the low block. And as Embiid faces up, check out how every defender is shading towards him and trying to cut off the passing lanes to their man. Embiid tries to go at Lopez as Korver comes with the help. He gets another shot leaning away from the basket. Here, in an effort to get Embiid low post position, they do the dribble handoff inside the three-point line instead of above it like most teams do. Once again, the defense is loaded up, ready to help. Embiid turns into Lopez, who gets the strip with the great hands. The Bucks go after it. Korver gets on the floor. Great hustle, great effort. The Bucks just swarming Embiid when he gets into the lane. And on this play, the Bucks are playing man-to-man, but Lopez is almost playing it like a zone. He's completely ignoring Embiid. As Korkmaz drives to the right, Lopez drops all the way down to the restricted area. The pass goes out to Embiid for another open three. He can't hit it again, and you can see why it's a really frustrating experience to play against the Bucks. And if you play this style of defense and you dare people to shoot, they are going to hit some threes. In fact, the Bucks give up the most three-point attempts and three-point makes in the league, but they try to force those three-point attempts, especially the open ones, to guys who don't want to be volume three-point shooters like Horford and Embiid, and that was evidenced by the fact that those two guys combined for 22 three-point attempts in this game. They even shot an okay percentage on them, going 8 for 22, but it disrupted the Sixers' offense and kept them out of the paint. Here, Simmons trying to push it a little bit, but the Bucks are back. And then as Simmons takes a dribble to the right here, Matisse Thybulle is going to clear out, and Simmons, thinking that Bledsoe's going with him, is going to cross back to his left, hoping there's a lane there, but Bledsoe stays put and cuts that off. Simmons has to kick it out, and Korkmaz eventually gets fouled coming off a screen, but nice work to shut down that initial drive. And now Simmons and Horford come up to set the double screen, but you can see how far Giannis and Lopez are sagged off. Horford clears out of there to give Harris room to work. You see Lopez still doesn't pay attention to him. And then as Harris comes off the Simmons screen, Chris Middleton able to reach around from behind, poke it away. The Bucks pick it up. Nice pressure to force the turnover. And now as Korkmaz comes off the handoff, you can see DiVincenzo trailing him. Connaughton rotates over with the ball. The pass goes out to Tobias Harris. Wes Matthews gets out to him. And now you can see Horford calling for the ball in the post against Connaughton. He gets the ball. He's much bigger, but Connaughton has a nice wide stance. He's nice and low using his leverage. And the Sixers wind up with another shot fading away from the basket. And in the second half here, as Joel Embiid gets the ball at the top, check out how Lopez is sagging off to prevent the entry pass. The Sixers go to Ben Simmons instead with Giannis on him. And then Embiid is going to come down and set a screen for Simmons, which is kind of an interesting area to set a screen. But the Bucks are so big that switching Embiid onto Giannis isn't that much of an advantage. Plus, when Simmons clears out, Brook Lopez can come over with the double because he doesn't have to worry about Simmons shooting. Lopez gets the block and the Bucks get the stop as they continue to dominate the paint. And now Harris gets the ball, and as Embiid comes over to set the screen, check out the defensive footwork by Chris Middleton as he gets over this screen. As Harris starts to go, Middleton's going to take a huge step toward half court. That allows his feet to get up above the screen. Look at him leaning way back as he goes over it. And then he regains his balance, cuts off the drive, swarming Harris. He kicks it out to Embiid. Lopez gives him a mid-ranger. He bricks it. And that's a nice stop by the Bucks. Good footwork by Middleton. On this play, as Horford gets the ball up at the top, Embiid is going to go over and set a screen for Simmons, but check out the way Lopez gets into Embiid's body, gets in his way, doesn't let him take a direct line path over, and by the time Embiid clears out and Simmons has position, Simmons is going to get called for a 3-second violation. Good work by the Bucks to make that more difficult than it needed to be. And off this inbound, as Embiid gets the ball, Tobias Harris is going to push off DiVincenzo a little bit and try to cut back door. But Lopez takes a step away from Embiid, gets a hand up to cut off that passing lane. Embiid tries to dribble it into the post against Lopez, but Bledsoe comes over with the double, able to get the strip. And on this play, the Sixers are going to run Korkmaz off 2 screens. And as they do, check out how Lopez abandons guarding Horford to help and contain the ball. As Korkmaz throws the pass out to Horford at the top, Giannis is going to rotate out, then Lopez rotates onto Giannis's man. The ball goes to Harris, and Wes Matthews takes a big step forward like Middleton did earlier to get over the screen. Giannis is there to help and contain the ball as Matthews gets back into position, and then the ball goes out to Horford. Giannis gets a hand up, pretty good shot contest. Nice containment by the Bucks on that one. And here as Simmons pitches it to Korkmaz, he sets a screen, but Pat Connaughton takes a big step up, gets over the screen, blocks it from behind. Great effort and great awareness. A lot of times when teams go for a quick shot like that, it can catch the defense by surprise. And now as the ball goes to the right elbow, check out DiVincenzo getting around Harris and fronting him. Thibault gets it to Horford, who can throw the pass over the top, and as Harris puts it on the deck, check out the Bucks just converging on him. No chance of getting a shot up. Absolutely swarming him in the paint. And now the Sixers are going to work it to Harris in the high post with Wes Matthews on him. As Lopez comes over with the double, he kicks it out to Horford, swing pass to Middleton. Middleton gets over the screen, and as Middleton drives, Lopez, Giannis, and Middleton are all going to converge on him and just completely wall off the rest of the court. No chance of even getting a pass off there. And now as Harris pitches it to Embiid, Korkmaz is going to come up and set a screen for Harris so that he can run off and get the handoff. But Wes Matthews does a great job of getting over the screen, plus it's not a great screen. So Matthews is able to get a hand into the handoff, pokes it away, it goes out off Tobias Harris. Another Sixers turnover. And now as the Sixers try to set a double screen for Harris again, Matthews is going to take a big step towards Harris so he's ready to go over the screen, plus he tries to angle him away from the screens. The Sixers offense grinding somewhat to a halt as the shot clock continues to tick down, and all they're going to get at the end of it is an Embiid mid-ranger. Nice pressure and positioning from the Bucks. And now Harris is going to get the ball and try to take Chris Middleton into the post. Middleton does a good job getting physical as Brook Lopez shades towards him. And as Harris turns into the lane, Lopez takes another step over, able to get the block from behind. Great help defense. That's going to be the ball game. The Bucks go to a monstrous 44-7 behind Giannis's 36 points, 20 boards, 6 assists. They held Horford and Embiid to a combined 11 for 43, and they are just cruising heading into the All-Star break. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the Bucks defense in the comments.